How to prepare for an APM online examination. During this video, we will guide you through the necessary steps to sit one of our online examinations, breaking it down into 4 sections: software and extensions, system checks, what needs to be prepared on the day, and the actual exam process itself. You can return to this video at any point, apart from during the exam. It's also been separated into sections, so you can easily skip to the section you need. Let's begin. Preparing for your exam, software and extensions. We first have to check that your computer is operating at least Windows 8 or Mac OS X or higher, and ensure there are no security settings or firewalls to prevent you from using your camera, microphone or the screen sharing software. For Windows, please navigate to the Start menu. Settings. Then click System and scroll down to About, and then scroll down to reveal the Windows specifications. To check the security settings, go back to the Settings menu and scroll down to Privacy. Select, and again scroll to check Google Chrome is allowed in the camera and mic settings. For Mac, select the Apple icon and About this Mac to reveal the specifications. To check security, again select the Apple icon and click System Preferences, Security and Privacy. Then proceed to check that the camera and mic allow access to Google Chrome. If you're using a work computer, then please send the guide in the description below to your IT department and they'll make these checks for you. Online Mic Test is a great website where you can see if your mic and webcam are functioning properly. We've left a link below. Google Chrome must also be up to date and set as your default browser. You'll see the importance of this later. You can check this on Windows by opening the Control panel, selecting Default Programs, set your default programs, then scrolling down and making sure Google Chrome is set as your default web browser. For Mac, open System Preferences, then General, and ensure Google Chrome is set as your default browser. Allowing pop-ups on the exam site is also essential. You can do this when Chrome is open by navigating to Settings, Privacy and Security, Site Settings, and scroll down to Pop-ups. Under Allow, click Add, and you can copy and paste the exam website with the link below. Close your browser window and reopen to save any changes. Next, we must add the Proctor Exam screen sharing extension for the invigilator to be able to monitor your exam. Using this link or finding it below, you can select Add to Chrome, then select Add Extension. That's it for your computer, but you will also need to download the Proctor Exam app on either your smartphone or tablet, as it is used for monitoring the exam. And that's the software and extensions prep complete. The next stage is system checks. You'll receive an email 8 calendar days before your exam with a link to carry out the system checks. Please do this as soon as you can, so you can iron out any problems you may have well in advance of the exam itself. When doing the checks, please make sure you're on the device and in the location that you will be when taking the exam. Also, make sure you have access to your emails on the device you're using. And now we begin the checks. Click on Test Your Equipment now in the email. Select Next, and then select Start System Test. First, test your microphone. Speak into your device and select Next if your microphone is detected. You'll then hear a sample of music, which tests if your speakers are working. Select Yes if you can hear the music, and then select Next to continue. You'll then be shown the requirements for your internet connection. You can check your Wi-Fi speed from the link below or in the email, but most people's Wi-Fi should be just fine. Select Next to continue. You'll then be asked to test your webcam. Select Allow to allow access for your webcam if necessary. Select Next if you can see yourself on screen. You must also test the smartphone or tablet that you plan to use as your secondary recording device for the exam. Open the Proctor Exam app on the selected device and scan the QR code on screen. This will check that the camera on your device is also working. As you installed the Proctor Exam screen sharing extension earlier, you'll be asked to share the contents of your screen. Choose your screen and select Share. You've now completed the steps required to check your system before the exam. On the day of the exam, ID and environment checks. 3 days before the date of your exam, you'll be sent an email that contains the link you'll use to access and sit your chosen exam. All of the next steps are to be carried out on the day of your exam at the time that's been booked in for you. But don't worry, the setup time won't take up any of your actual exam time. However, it will add an extra 10 to 15 minutes to the exam. So be sure to factor this in when scheduling your day. At the time of your exam, click Launch Your Exam Now. Please be aware that the link won't work before the time of your exam, so no need to worry about trying the link earlier. The link will open the exam in Google Chrome, which is why it needs to be set up as your default browser. Then click Next Step. This is when you begin the ID and environmental checks. Your exam time does not begin yet. Enable desktop notifications when prompted, then select Next Step. Select your language and continue to the screen share setup. Choose your screen and select Share. Ensure your microphone is working. Then be sure to close all applications and browser windows on your computer, apart from the exam. Hide the screen sharing message, then select Next Step while keeping a neutral expression. Take a close-up picture of your face by selecting Take Picture. Submit when you're happy. Next, have your ID card ready and show it to the webcam when prompted. Make sure it's clear, easy to read and fits within the frame. Submit your photo when you're happy with the quality. Pick up your second device with the Proctor Exam app installed and turn on airplane mode, then activate Wi-Fi. Open the app and scan the QR code on screen. Your device will be recording from this point onward. Now comes the environment setup. Using your second device, slowly record your computer and keyboard. Then capture your desk and area beyond your computer. Remember, nothing is allowed on your desk. Be sure to film the space under your desk, the ceiling, and the four corners of the room. Next, film your ears to show that you have no earphones plugged in. Please note that you're not allowed to use earphones or headphones during your exam. Finally, place the device next to you so that you can be observed throughout the exam. We recommend it's plugged in and on charge so it doesn't run out of battery. Make sure you're sitting directly in front of the webcam on your computer, ensuring you can see yourself and you're sitting in the center of the frame. Select I'm able to see myself and then select Next Step. Check your cameras are positioned correctly one final time and that the room is light enough. When you're ready, click Start Exam. Remember that this page must stay open throughout the entire exam. Before you begin the exam, make sure you've used the toilet. You can take a toilet break during the exam, but you'll not be allowed any additional time as a consequence unless you have additional access needs, in which case, please notify us or your training provider. You'll also need to make sure you're alone and will not be interrupted throughout the exam. When you're happy with your environment and wish to start the exam, then copy your key code and select Launch Test to open the exam platform in a new tab. Enter your 8-character key code and start your exam. Technical support. If you do have any problems during your exam, please use the live chat function, which is available 24/7. Taking the exam. When starting the exam, please confirm your details and then confirm you accept the rules and regulations by ticking the box. Click Continue. You'll then see the information page informing you of the length of the exam, how many questions need to be answered, and how to navigate your way through. Take your time and read this information, as it'll make sure you're completing the exam correctly. You'll be able to view this page at any time throughout the exam by clicking the question mark icon at the bottom of the page. If you like, you can also choose your preferred color scheme for the questions by clicking on the settings icon. Section 1 includes the questions on GDPR, your employer, and the country you're taking the exam in. This section is timed for 3 minutes, but if you complete it before, then you can move on. Section 2 has the live exam questions. This is a timed section in accordance with the exam type that you're sitting. There's a section countdown clock at the top of the screen. If you've been awarded extra time, the additional time will show in the time remaining display. For written answer exams, such as the management qualification, the answers are in essay format. You'll need to write your answers in the text boxes, which are below the questions being asked. There's a formatting bar available, with multiple choice exams, such as the fundamentals qualification. To answer a question, select the checkbox or highlight the answer that you consider to be the correct option. You can then move to the next question by selecting the Next button. You're also able to use the Back button to go in the other direction and make changes if you desire. If you're unsure of an answer, you'll be able to flag it by clicking on the flag icon. Flagging a question will make it easier for you to see which questions you've not answered, so you can go back to them before the time is up. When you go to complete your exam, if you haven't unflagged some of the questions, you'll be asked if you still wish to submit. You can either choose to go back and unflag them, or you can submit the exam with the answers still flagged. It's not a problem. For a more intuitive way of navigating through the questions, you can use the Section Review tab at the bottom of the page. A panel will pop up on the screen, which you can lock to your screen by using the padlock icon. You can then filter by unattempted, attempted, and flagged questions. This will list the corresponding groups below, where you'll be able to select and view the questions that you wish. When you've completed the exam, click the Finish button. If it displays a warning message stating not all questions have been answered, please check that you've answered the required number of questions for your exam on the information page. Please note, any additional answers will not be marked. If your time expires before you finish, your exam will automatically be submitted. If you're taking the multiple choice exam, after it's been submitted, you'll see your professional grade. This is subject to validation by us. But within 5 working days after taking the exam, you'll receive your official results. For the short written answer exam, your results will be released within 8 to 10 weeks. Thank you for choosing to take a qualification with us, and we wish you the best of luck on your exam. If you have any further questions prior to your exam, please contact APM Qualifications team at e-assessment@apm.org.uk.